We are back at high spots and cheap pumps, and we keep on talking about the world of professional wrestling. Vladi Dadi, what is going on? What is on your mind?
I was sort of alluding to this on text. As a matter of fact, I think if anything, it's going to go and put a jetpack on the back of the storylines, especially big names returning, putting more eyes on the product. You're going to see a spike in ratings even. And I'll throw these names out. We're headed towards WrestleMania. I put it in text. I fully expect to see John Cena, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and The Rock all have matches over the course of 2 nights. It's in Hollywood. This is going to be magical. Triple H is first at the helm WrestleMania. And if he has these sort of talents to work with, this is going to be a WrestleMania we're going to be talking about for years. So,
not to mention Bad Bunny.
Well, you're going to see Logan Paul.
Is he going to be cleared?
I'm reading that he wants to be there as bad as possible, and they're already mentioning maybe Cena wrestling him.
Well, you're 6 months away when he got hurt.
Yeah.
And it's a 9-month injury. So we'll see what happens, because that'll be a while for him to, because he'll have to run a program, obviously, too.
Yeah.
But that's interesting to see. But either way, I mean, you could put, I mean, there was a rumor going around it would be Cena versus Stone Cold.
That's the one I want.
Usually you bring the 2 old guys in for that, usually have to put a current talent over in some capacity. But that would be era versus era. They both have proven they can go. Cena's kind of on a little bit of a singles losing streak when he comes back. Stone Cold's still Stone Cold. It would be fantastic. The promos alone would be great, which hopefully that's what you're going to see. And you'll see, I think Stone Cold wanted to make sure he can do it. And now maybe he'll come back and he'll actually run a program. He'll cut a couple promos, raise a little hell, as he likes to say. That's the kind of thing that you look forward to if that is the case. Stone Cold, though, did poo-poo that and say he's just getting in shape because he wants to feel better. He's getting old. I don't know about that.
He has it back in him. He's like thinking, oh, man. He goes, I was able to do that 2 nights last year. Because they want me to just do it 1 night this year in L.A., there's going to be so many eyes on it. That, to me, the Stone Cold Cena thing, imagine Cena returning for the obvious return back to WrestleMania. It's going to be in Hollywood. He's a current star, all that great stuff. And in the middle of Cena's return, like promo, all of a sudden you hear the glass shatter. And Stone Cold coming down the ramp. That'd be incredible. Place would go... whatever stadium they'd be at, or whatever arena I should say, that place would implode with energy. Like, that would be trending within 3 seconds.
Oh, 100%. It would be incredible. And again, it's something you'd see in a video game, but both guys can visibly get older. Stone Cold doesn't look that old. I mean, the guy's 60, doesn't look that bad at all.
Yeah.
And
you and
Cena, I don't know, though. He's getting that bald patch. It was all over the internet. I felt bad for him.
Yeah, I felt bad for him too. I thought it was a cheap shot.
Bullshit.
Yeah, total bullshit. So, yeah, the other thing is too, it's like, I'm not expecting an Iron Man match out of these 2 guys. Them slugging at each other and playing to the crowd, that's just going to be awesome.
Yeah, you wouldn't even need to take credit. I mean, neither one of them are. Again, Stone Cold wasn't a great worker after he hurt himself in terms of, being compared to what he was in terms of bell to bell and telling those intricate wrestling stories, chain wrestling, things like that. Austin was a great wrestler, but after he had his injury, he had to change the way he worked, but it also played to the crowd. Instead of being a tactician, a mat technician and all that, that's what he was when he came in, and all of a sudden he's the best brawler in the company during his run. But he had the crowd going. But how many times at the top of the card is the guy Kenny Omega or Shawn Michaels or Bret Hart? It doesn't happen too often. Usually they're the guys that just draw the most money. They're the guys that can entertain you bell to bell. The Rock, Hogan. That wasn't Omega Okada. That wasn't Hart Michaels. But it's one of the best known matches of all time because of the entertainment value and the way the crowd responded. And again, the crowd's so important to all these moments. If the crowd isn't popping and banging for it, how much does the moment matter?
I mean, you're absolutely right. This is the way what we live for as wrestling fans. And here we were just talking about Cena and Stone Cold. basically dream booking this WrestleMania. I really hope it happens. And now let's just shift our focus to The Rock. You're going to have a situation here where The Rock and Roman are going to go and basically butt heads. I don't know if it's going to be at Royal Rumble, for instance, or is it going to be something that happens after Royal Rumble where, like I just mentioned, Roman's out there looking for acknowledgement, and then all of a sudden you hear The Rock's "If you smell," and that, imagine how quickly that's going to trend. So this is like a real pivotal moment in their history here. Like, this is like them going out with a bang. And there's going to be a lot of eyes on this, so it's going to draw up the cost a bit.
That's if The Rock is definitely down, and I have heard that it's becoming less and less likely.
You heard it here first. He will be there.
Meltzer said it's less likely.
Meltzer, don't get me started on that guy.
Look, if Mr. Meltzer says it, then I have to report it as fact.
He's the rain is wet guy, right?
Well, obviously, it really comes down to if The Rock is going to be at WrestleMania, how your WrestleMania goes. But it's shaping up to be the best WrestleMania in many, many years, at least the most anticipated I've been. Last year, if you remember, last year was a great WrestleMania, but the anticipation really wasn't there for a lot of reasons because we weren't sure what we were getting. But it wound up being such a great event over 2 days, one of the better WrestleManias they've had the last decade, because there's been some stinkers the last decade. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Some real bad ones. But really, both the last 2 WrestleManias have been pretty good. This one I anticipate to being otherworldly because the way he's building these guys, even the mid-card guys, Gunther's going to be in a monster, amazing matchup that weekend. You're going to have Becky doing something spectacular. You're going to have Bianca doing something spectacular. Now Charlotte's going to be involved. Bailey, you have all these different characters coming up, and we're going to get into more of the things, but it's not just the bloodline, which we're going to get into in a second, but it's all the other things that he's cooking underneath that are really good and entertaining. Like, I don't fast forward that much anymore in WWE product, and I couldn't say that with a straight face in a decade or two.
Yeah, it's very true. And you just mentioned Gunther's name, and the rumor is it's supposed to be Gunther versus Brock Lesnar.
Wow.
I mean, that's a really badass sort of match, man.
I think Gunther loses.
You know what? That's a great question. I'd have to think about it.
I don't think Lesnar puts him over. Not yet, anyway.
I think he might.
I don't think so. But what do you have? Lesnar be your Intercontinental Champion, though? That's
weird. Right. Yeah.
It would elevate that title.
Yeah. I'll see.
Lesnar's never been the IC champ.
Wow. That right there is the reason for him to go after it.
I don't think he's won any title except for the World Championship.
Yeah.
He might have been a tag team champion in his first run. But he won King of the Ring and the World Championship within 6 months of coming up with Heyman. He and deservedly. The guy was great really quick.
Yeah, it's true. So I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I just want to let you know that's one of the matches that's rumored to be happening in addition to the other ones we just mentioned.
Well, it's again, we're really, it's really exciting because the first thing you worry when you hear Vince McMahon coming back, you worry if we're going to start seeing roll up finishes and Baron Corbin on my TV set every week. And so you start fearing that, right? And once you hear that none of that's changing, okay, we're good. And I don't mean to be mean about it because, again, none of this is even possible without Vince McMahon. But the guy clearly didn't have a fastball his last decade creatively. And he didn't have his finger anywhere close to what people want to watch. And he liked to pay people to not talk about his penis.
Yeah, you know what they refer to that as in behind the scenes of WWE?
Protocol?
No, they say that's paralegally speaking.
Oh!
Thank you.
That was a great drum roll, too. Thank you, imaginary drummer.
Thank you so much for watching High Spots and Cheap Pops. This is Silicon Valley for Vladi Dadi. Please hit the subscribe button, and thank you so much for watching High Spots and Cheap Pops. Here endeth the lesson.